Looking to get away from the hustle and bustle of the cities and in need of a day reconnecting with nature? Look no further than the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge in southern Oklahoma. Hi, I'm Katrina, and the Wichita Mountains are my absolute favorite place to spend time with fresh air and Mother Nature. Let's explore them together. You can easily do this trip solo, with some friends, and it's fantastic for families. The Wildlife Refuge sits about an hour southwest of Oklahoma City. There are plenty of gas stations near the entrance, so fuel up your car and yourself before heading in. It can get hot around all this rock, especially in the summer, so you'll want to make sure you have access to more cold water than you think you will need. As you drive down State Highway 49, you'll pass the entrance to the town of Medicine Park and one of the access points to Lake Latonka. Don't worry, we'll come back to this, and you can explore the town and even rent gear to get out on the lake. The first stop you'll want to make is Mount Scott, one of the state's most prominent mountains, and you can drive up to the top of it. Do some boulder hopping while you're up there and get a good look. There are plenty of views of lakes, windmill farms, and more. You can also hike or bike up the road if you've got the energy for it. As you keep driving, there are plenty of areas to pull off and check out the wildlife, go for a hike, or enjoy the views from your car. The more popular attractions are Mount Scott, the Holy City, and the Lost Lake. For animals, you'll want to make sure you find Prairie Dog Town, one of the two prairie dog communities in the park. You may even stumble across a longhorn or two as you wander around because this place has a ton of them. I run a nature-based adventure brand called Neon Bison, so you can take a lucky guess which piece of wildlife I'm most obsessed with. The bison. From the 15 that were brought over in the early 1900s to the herd of over 600 now, you're bound to see a few if you hang out long enough. Stop off at the Visitors Center right in the middle of the park to hunt down a map of all the trails, see the exhibits, and get a better feel for the park and learn more about it. This is also the cleanest set of restrooms you'll find. Now onto the hiking. There are 12 marked trails on the trail map, but more if you download the All Trails app and look there. If you haven't used this app yet, I really recommend it. Trail maps are able to be downloaded and used offline when you have no cell service and you might not hear. Shorter, kid-friendly hikes like the Jed Johnson give you views of wildflowers on your way to a tower, while trails like the Elk and Kite involve more granite boulder hopping. Make sure you look up the 40-foot hole for some water features. My personal favorite trail goes through the parallel forest. This forest was planted by the government on about 16 acres with trees in completely straight lines to help counteract the effects of the Dust Bowl. Due to the lack of sunlight and the eerie symmetry of it, this is said to be a haunted forest. I haven't seen any ghosts here, but it is an oddly calming area that I have really come to love. It is worth it to visit and see most of the park without hiking, but adding in a few short trails really helps you get a feel for it. Most of them are easy to moderate, and you can either go all out on a 6 or more mile hike, or stick to the half-mile and shorter ones if you've got little ones with you. Once you've had your fill of exploration, let's head back out. Make it back to the entrance of the park and you'll notice the aquarium. The aquarium's pretty new, so go check out what they have. Bonus stop. Between the Medicine Park entrance and Mount Scott, turn down Granite Ridge Road. A direct right puts you at an old abandoned water slide. This might sound lame to some of you, but I am really into quirky roadside attractions, and I had a lot of fun walking down the water slide to the way too tiny of a pool at the bottom. And I even saw some snakes here. For meals, if you don't bring your own picnic, you've got two other really good options. You can head into the town of Mears and stop at the famous Mears restaurant. Order a grass-fed, locally raised burger, wash it down with a mason jar of iced tea. The inside of this place is rustic, being a historic building from the gold rush days. Your other option is to head into Medicine Park. Medicine Park was Oklahoma's first resort town, with people like President Roosevelt, Al Capone, and even Bonnie and Clyde vacationing here. With buildings made out of cobblestone, today it's home to a few dozen cute shops, restaurants, and the home of outdoor events like the Blues Festival and Flute Festival. You're going to find a motorcycle gear store, olive oil company, coffee shop, bakery, bars, touristy t-shirt shops, and trading posts that have firm ties to their Native American heritage. Food-wise, I would say check out the Riverside Cafe because it has a perfect outdoor patio right along the creek. If it's warm enough, pay a few bucks to hop into the popular swimming hole in that creek or rent a paddleboard from the base camp store to take out onto Lake Latonka. This area is perfect for a day trip or an overnight. If you want to spend more time here, there are cabins you can rent and you can pitch your tent in the Doris campground and get a little closer to nature. Drive down and check it out so you can find your favorite part of these gorgeous granite mountains.